Dorial Green-Beckham spoke to reporters in Oklahoma for the first time after going through OU's annual Pro Day on Wednesday. The former five-star recruit said his decision to leave Norman without ever playing it down for the Sooners was based on, quote, what was best for my family.
Overall, I just felt like, a big job interview, just a lot of guys coming out here and competing, showing their athletic ability, showing what they're capable of doing, and just going out there and producing. All the hard work that we've been through the last few months to work up here to get all to this spot, it's just been tough. You just got to come in here and stay focused and work harder than everybody else.
Do you feel like you impressed?
I feel like overall I'm impressed. I had a good combine, and overall I feel like today was a good pro day for me. So I feel like all my numbers and all that turned out as planned. So I know my next step is just to keep working hard all the way up to the draft and then wait for draft day and see who I get picked.
What does this mean to you to do the pro day here at Oklahoma?
I mean, I spent the last few months with these guys. I bleed with these guys. Like, these are guys that I'm gonna ride for. So I felt like overall, like, they stand behind me. I'm standing behind them no matter what, and I'm gonna be a Boomer Sooner.
What was your time like here? It's kind of unique compared to most people.
Yeah, I felt like my time here, I learned a lot. I took a lot of things to mind, sat out for a year, saw a lot of things, saw things that normally you want to see as you being playing time and all that stuff. But taking that, that year off, you realize a lot of things, and you know what you need to do to get to those spots and just how hard it is to make your way up to that top spot.
What was the toughest part about sitting out that year?
Just missing the season. I never missed a season in my entire life, even growing up. So I just felt like that, it was a big deal for me, and I felt like that, I regretted all the mistakes that I had. But I know I've become a better person by being here, being around these guys, and they took me in, and let me know, like, hey, they got my back. So I know that they made me a better person.
You were able to kind of be out of the spotlight for a little while. What was it like when you first went to the combine and it was the media crush and you had that big press conference?
I felt like overall it wasn't too big. Obviously, I haven't talked to the media since 2013. So I know that, I knew that was going to be a big thing for me for going there and just answer all those questions, which is I went in there, did everything I need to do, and just had fun with it. And, had a great combine with all the other guys, seeing guys, seeing what they've been through, watched a whole bunch of guys, and now I was in that position to be able to get back on the field and perform.
How do you take all this in? A lot of us were kind of hiding in the bushes when that day you showed up to
I remember that.
do your stuff. It was a big deal and around here, and it became kind of like a mania a little bit. But you go through that, you go through the year that you went through, now you have your pro day. Just this year at Oklahoma, what are you going to take away from it most?
Well, one thing that I know when I leave here is that I'm going to have a lot of memories being with these guys, even though I didn't play this last season, I'm still gonna have some great memories. Just being around these great people. Just playing just being here, working with Coach Stoops, just getting better. Taking that extra time in the weight room, classroom, all that. Just being a better person on the field and off the field.
And it also wasn't like just an overnight deal. You came down. OU came down to the wire with you when you chose your school out of high school. Yep. Was it? Does it make it a little bit more special that you could kind of spend this time here and have your pro day here because of that?
Yes, sir. And one thing that I always remember, right after I did sign with Missouri, I remember the only phone call getting was from Jay Norvell and Coach Stoops, the only two guys to congratulate me on committing and signing with Missouri. So I know that the respect level was there. So I knew that they had my back. They knew what type of person I was. So they knew when I got down here that they knew everything about me that other people don't know. So I knew it was going to be a great, respectful level down here.
I know you get a chance to follow your dreams and make real money and all that stuff, but if there's one regret, is it that you couldn't play a game out there on the field in front of the fans here?
Yeah. Just putting myself in that position, watching these guys, lose games and stuff like that, which is they don't usually do that, but I try to prepare myself for them to win those games at practice. So, I wish I had that chance to play with them. I wish I would have been there on the field, even though we still lost. Even if I was there taking a loss with them, they knew that I'm still going to have their back, even though that I still didn't get the chance to play. It was still important for me to let them know that I'm still here.
Was it hard from the perspective of you did see them losing, you knew if you were out there you could probably make a difference?
Yes, sir. I knew I could make a big difference being out there, using me as another receiver and helping Duran and Sterling out. I knew that was going to be big, just having a big target out there for the outside and helping Sterling, with his injuries and not, putting a whole lot of pressure on him.
When you, given the relationship you just said you had with Coach Stoops and Coach Norvell, when you left Missouri, was Oklahoma on your mind right away, or did that how did that come about?
Yeah, it was on my mind after I left Missouri because, like I said, the only thing that I remember. So I knew that the only thing that I remember when I signed for Missouri was having that respectful level with them, and I knew that they knew what type of person I was. So I knew that all the stuff that was said and all that stuff about me and all this, they knew what type of person I was. They know that's not me. They know I don't do those things. So I knew that it was a better chance to try to get in here than anywhere else because they knew what type of person I was.
What was it like during the waiver process to learn that you weren't going to play this year, and how much did the coaches and teammates really have your back and support you during that time?
I mean, they supported me 100%. I mean, or even more than that, you know. So, I mean, we all was hoping that I was going to get that chance to play. But, you know, not everything goes the right way. So, I mean, even though that it came back where I was not going to be able to play, they still was there for me, you know. And I couldn't just sit around being all sad about it. I just knew I got to move on to my next step and just still get better and better. And, you know, prepare my team, even though I'm not there, still prepare them to play on Saturdays.
Did that make the decision hard to leave after 1 year without playing, that everybody did treat you so well here and all of that stuff? Did that make it more difficult?
Yeah, it made it very difficult. You know, I mean, it was a long process. You know, it was something personal. You know, I just had to, you know, think about what was best for me. You know, I mean, even though everybody would like me to stay and stuff like that, but you know, I mean, it was personal. I just had to see what was best for me and just, you know, just move forward from there. You know, even though I'm still going to be an Oklahoma Sooner no matter what.
Did you have an idea that you would leave even before the season was over? Did that process start after the bowl game? Could you tell us a little bit about the timeline there?
It processed a little after the bowl game, you know, and just like what was best for me and my family. You know, like every guy goes through this process, and when it's time for them to, you know, when they realize, all right, I need to move on to my next step. So, you know, I mean, it wasn't about the team, it wasn't about the losses, it wasn't about being here, it wasn't about being Oklahoma, coming from Missouri. You know, it was just a process where it was best for me and my family.
I assume Bob was probably saying, hey, if you stay another year, you probably for sure could be a, you know, top 5, top 10 pick.
Yes, sir. No doubt about that. You know, I mean, we had those talks, you know, and, you know, he understand what was best for me and my family, you know, like the time is now. So, I mean, he realized that it was best for me and my family. So
there was a report out there. You weren't quoted, but it was someone that was quoted that said they had talked to you, that said the reason you decided was because Jay Norvell had left. That you're saying that's not true?
No, I mean, none of that is, you know, anything that I said. I mean, if I said anything like that, then I would have said it myself personally. I mean, you know, people say things and they think, oh, yeah, you heard this, they heard this from me. You know, it's just things that people say, which is, you know, if I said it, then I would say it.
For you, talking about what kind of feedback have you got from these guys here today?
Well, I got a lot of great feedback, you know. I mean, they've seen, like, I've been working hard the past year. I took advantage of the opportunity, so they know that I'm ready to move on to the next step.
I imagine for you, you know, given some of the off-the-field questions, the interviews with the teams are going to be really important. How have those gone so far at the Combine and elsewhere?
Well, at the Combine, I got a lot of questions about that meeting with them on their formal meetings, which is, I mean, overall, I got great feedback about it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, just being honest, you know, just showing honesty, and I'm showing you accountable. You know, that's the main steps that they want to see. You know, so I mean, I went in there, did everything I needed to do, work hard the past few years. You know, go in there and just be honest. You know, they want to hear stuff like that. They want to know what really goes on, what really happens. So that's when you got to confess to everything and just let them know what's been going on the past year.
Throughout the entire process, do you feel like you've improved your stop?
Throughout the process, I feel like I improved. On the field, I mean, I took advantage of the scout team, you know, just getting better. You know, I took advantage of the schoolwork. I took advantage of everything, you know. I didn't take no days off. I just knew that being here, I've become a better person and a better player on the field.
You worked with Baker Mayfield.
Process? Do you feel like you improved during the draft process as well as far as the Combine, the workouts, and today?
I feel like being at the Combine, all my stats that I did there really improved my draft stock. So, I mean, I'm getting great feedback from all the coaches about that and telling me that my draft stock's been going up higher because of how I've been improving and how I've been handling myself.
You worked with Baker on the scout team all last fall. How good can he be for Oklahoma, and will he battle for that #1 job?
Yes, sir. I know he's not going to stop battling. You know, that's one thing I know about Baker. He's going to go in there, he's going to fight, you know, all year. I mean, even if he's the second quarterback, I mean, I know that he's going to work harder and try to get to the #1 spot. I mean, he got great athletic ability. He can throw the ball. You know, he's just a quarterback that can do a lot of everything. So I feel like that he's going to have a great year, even though he's going to play this year.
You're going to leave us with quite a controversy. If you're going to be a starter in the NFL and you have a Sunday night game on NBC, because you know they announce who they are and where they're from. Where
Of
is
course,
Dorial
I'm
Green-Beckham
going
going
to
to
say
be from?
Oklahoma. Yes, sir.
Are you going to say Missouri and Oklahoma?
No, I'm going to say Oklahoma. This is my last location. That's where I'm at. I'm an Oklahoma Sooner. That's it.